Welcome into America's resort, the Greenbrier in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. It's day 10 of a 19-day regular season of World Team Tennis. We've passed the halfway mark. Teams scratching and clawing to make the 4-team playoff. And today, we have the 3-4 Orlando Storm taking on the 3-3 Washington Castles. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Olivia Decker. Glad to have you with us. Now, both Orlando and Washington had yesterday off, nice and rested for an early morning warm-up and a 9 a.m. start. Orlando especially eager to get back on track after dropping both of their weekend matches. I told you it's a busy day. We've got 4 matches coming up today. After us, we have New York taking on the 2-time defending champ Springfield Lasers, but they're struggling with the worst record in the league, 1-5. And then it's Philadelphia and Chicago, battle for the top spot of the standings. You can see they're both 5-1. That's at 3 o'clock. That'll be great. And then we finish off with Orange County, winners of 3 of their last 4 matches. They're hot. They take on Las Vegas at 7 p.m. So let's take a look at the standings. For context, 8-6 was good enough to make the playoff last year. You can see a ton of parity between 3 through 8. And the second week will just be huge. Every match counts, every point counts. And we start today with men's singles and women's singles. For more, let's get you over to Jeff Chisever and Mark Lucero. Hey, Jeff.
Nice job, Olivia. Early start here to day 10. Let's get it going. I'm Jeff Chisever alongside my partner and longtime ATP and WTA coach, Mark Lucero. Mark, let's lay out some of these featured players we're going to see here today. We got Tennys Sandgren, Tommy Paul holding it down in men's singles. Jessie Pegula coming up big for the Storm as of late. And then Marcelo Arevalo, the Salvadorian, has certainly been the MVP for the Castles thus far.
I'm excited to see this match, Sandgren and Paul. This is going to come down to the big points. Tennys Sandgren, 0 for 11 on break points this year. Tommy Paul, 2 for 20. Who can play those points that really matter? Jessica Pegula, as you said, coming off a 5-2 win over Jen Brady. She's winning 60% of her singles matches, one of the most efficient players in the league. And the man coming in at the end of the lineup, Marcelo Arevalo, a lot of confidence after a 5-4 win over the Bryan brothers.
Yeah, Arevalo, 29-20 when he's playing in mixed doubles. He's played every match at mixed, so that's going to be huge. Another big day of tennis here at the Greenbrier, the first of 4 matches, and we are pumped to kick things off with men's singles. We've got Tennys Sandgren for Orlando, Tommy Paul for DC. It's the Storm and the coming up next. First ball.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Geico. Did you know that Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car insurance? That's on top of what Geico could already save you. Visit geico.com to learn more. By the Greenbrier Valley in West Virginia, home to scenic trails and quiet rivers, friendly mountain towns, and America's resort, the Greenbrier. And by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app and use promo code WTT to play free for thousands of dollars in prizes this season.
Storm in the Castles, day 10 of a 19-day regular season. We have just crossed the halftime mark, and we are pumped to start it off here with the first one, 9 a.m. start. Let's take a check out at the Wilson lineups. We're going to start off with men's singles, then women's singles, almost like they want to get those out of the way and get right to the doubles for the Castles.
Yeah, the Castles have strength in the bottom of the lineup with the doubles, especially, again, we talked about Marcelo Arevalo. He's going to be coming in hot today.
Yeah, one of the things we love to talk about, Mark, is when so many All-American matchups here for World Team Tennis, and we got another one here today, the veteran American Sandgren taking on the younger rising star in Tommy Paul. And here's a look at the format. Of course, it is a team format, and it is fast. Equal gender participation, lets her in play, no ad scoring, and one of your favorite things, Mark, you love the substitutions.
I love the subs, I love the timeouts. Also, I like the coaches getting involved with the match.
So the first of 4 matches here today, and this one is pretty big when you check out the standings. The Castles are 3-3, the Storm are 3-4. Right now, the Castles are right in that 4 spot. Top 4 make the playoffs. We got 9 teams here. 45th season of World Team Tennis. Our first look at Tommy Paul. It's hard to describe why I love watching Tommy play so much. The word that comes to mind is smooth. He's such an athlete out there. Not that big, but he seems to have every shot on the court.
Tommy Paul has a lot of game. He also has, he shows some personality on the court, has a little swagger, personality. It brings the fan in.
So it's going to be Tommy Paul to start. Tennys Sandgren on the near court.
So we should say, too, there's no coin flip. The home team serves first in the first, third, and the 5th sets. Home team also sets the lineup. Visiting team serves first in sets 2 and 4. Wow, some big hitting from Tommy Paul. His goal today is to control the baseline. He wants to shorten points up. He doesn't want to let Tennys Sandgren scramble and reset the points.
Tennys Sandgren, the talk of the town here, 20 years old, is just his physicality and how hard he's been putting work in the weight room.
Yeah, over the last few years, Tennys Sandgren has established himself as one of the American men who is a factor, who can go deep in majors. Part of that is due to the physicality, the work he's put in the gym, like you mentioned. And part of that is a newfound commitment to moving forward in the court, not just running side to side, but going north-south.
Castles, coached by Robbie Ginepri, 38 years old, played a lot of World Team Tennis himself, former semifinalist at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, talk about a player who is physical. Robbie Ginepri used to wear the cut-off sleeve, showing off the guns.
Oh, good shot.
Wow, the Tennys Sandgren backhand down the line. So good absorbing pace and redirecting on that side. Watch how Tennys Sandgren shortens up his backswing here and absorbs all the pace and just redirects right up the line.
fascinated with how good of a slider Sandgren is. I feel like that guy must go through a pair of shoes every 2 or 3 matches.
Such a great athlete moving side to side. There's our first look at Coach Jay Gooding, Orlando Storm head coach, Australian native. Coach Gooding currently has an academy in Orlando, the Gooding Tadero Academy. Former national coach for the USTA and did a lot of work with Tennis Australia.
First big point here of the match, 30-all. Talking with Luke Jensen last time at the last Storm match, and we know Sandgren loves that out wide serve on the deuce.
That's how we do it. Go to your strengths in the big moments.
I would say hello as we welcome in our viewers at ESPN2, World Team Tennis here. 45th season. We got the Storm in the Castles. Second game of men's singles, first of 5 sets. And then those of you that have continued to watch on ESPN News, happy to have you. 1-all here in the first set. These are 2 of 9 teams in the league. Top 4 make the playoffs. We're just about over that halfway mark. Day 10 here of a 19-day regular season. Tommy Paul, Tennys Sandgren, All-American matchup here, Creekside Stadium Court at the Greenbrier. Excited to have you. And here's a look at those standings on the left. See the Castles 3-3, and the Storm at 3-4. Top 4 make the playoffs. Crucial match here for both squads.
What hands from Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul has a lot of flair. He's a really fun player to watch. He likes to set up that big forehand, and then, again, something he's been working on, making his way into the net. I was chatting with his coach, Brad Stein, last night. He said the biggest goal for today was for Tommy to finish off some points at the net, shorten them up. Don't let Tennys Sandgren run baseline, sideline to sideline.
Yeah, so Tennys Sandgren loves to play defense. He wants to move forward, but he's way behind in the baseline. You're saying when you're that far back, you got to make that opponent pay by coming off and cutting off some volleys.
Exactly. Shorten up the point. Tennys Sandgren's so good at playing defense and neutralizing you after you've hurt him once or twice.
I love that Tommy Paul backhand. One thing I've noticed is he's got that left hand high up on the racket, almost on the throat. It's almost like a leadoff hitter choking up on a bat.
Yeah, he grabs up there pretty high. He has like the hands a little separated, kind of like David Ferrer used to hit his backhand like that. It's like the hockey slap shot, you know, wrist shot.
Covering all sports so far here. If you want the most comprehensive representation of a player's current form, then follow the UTR. Here it is between these 2 players, and not that surprised how close it is, Mark.
So close in the UTR. UTR, obviously, we know, takes into account who you play, who you beat, who you lose to. Factors in your most recent matches more heavily than your matches longer ago.
Tommy Paul's hardcourt UTR higher than his normal UTR, and Sandgren's is lower when you take the results from the 30 most recent matches. see teammates playing the role of ball boy and ball girl for their teammates.
Tommy Paul had a great Australia trip to start the year. Qualified and made the semis in Adelaide. Had a great win at the Australian Open over Grigor Dimitrov. Got a great built-in practice partner at home. Roommates with fellow American pro Riley Opelka in Delray Beach.
It's nice to have during this quarantine time because not a lot of people had other partners to play with early on during the lockdown. And that's that out wide serve on the deuce. That's his money serve right there. Out wide on the ad. If you are watching us on ESPN News, switch over to ESPN2. And if you're already on the deuce, you'll stay with us. 4 games in, 2-all. First half of men's singles in the books. Be right back here at the Greenbrier. Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. San Diego Aviators taking on the New York Empire. Certainly one of the stories so far this season. Kim Clijsters of the New York Empire has not lost a match in singles, highlighted by her wins over Sloane Stevens and Sophia Kenin. Got to check that out. They have been fun to watch. There's the Empire right there sitting in the 4 spot at 3-3. And then right there above them is the Washington Castles. Tommy Paul here to serve at 2-all for the Castles.
You know, Jeff, there's such a premium on serving here in World Team Tennis because the format is so short. Any little advantage, especially getting ahead in a game like this for Tennys Sandgren, but is potentially a big opportunity, especially a second serve at love 15.
Yeah, good point. We got the fast 4-4, normal sets to 6 on the tour tennis. This one's to 5, and it certainly does favor the big servers. And if you get up 30, love, I've said this a lot, but he just needs to tell himself, if I win one of the next 3 points, I'm going to have at least 1 break point. So big hole here for Tommy Paul in the 5th game of the first set.
These breaks of serve are so valuable in men's tennis, the men's singles, the men's doubles, because these guys serve so big. That's also the advantage to serving first in a set. If you can serve first and get 1 break, that's a 3-game differential between your team and the opponents. Wow, great tennis from Tommy Paul, taking advantage of his first forehand with some court positioning. Played heavy with his forehand, made Tennys Sandgren run hard into the forehand corner. He didn't let the defensive ball settle. He moved up, took it on the rise, and took away some time.
Yeah, when someone is playing so far behind the baseline like Sandgren does when he's playing defense, that's when it's so crucial to play through the sidelines. Depth up the middle, not going to really do that much damage.
If you can play that second ball on the rise after Sandgren plays his first defensive ball, you cut down his time to recover back to the middle.
I knew we were going to get a good slide there. That was the old knot up, and we have our first deciding point of the set. No ad scoring.
A lot of court awareness here from Tommy Paul, recognizing the position of Sandgren.
Look at that.
He was well behind the Greenbrier logo when he started that sprint. Tennys Sandgren likes to do that on second serves, likes to back up, let the second serve, let the kick serve come down into a strike zone, then send a big, heavy forehand back. A lot of the players don't really like that.
Nice forehand there by Tommy Paul. We talked about it earlier in the story of the season so far, Kim Clijsters. And I had the chance to call the match with Luke Jensen. She is taking this comeback seriously.
Kim Clijsters came here to the Greenbrier very prepared, and you can see that in her results. 5-0 in singles matches, just punishing the ball.
Yeah, you'll see one of those wins against Danielle Collins. You know, Collins will no longer be playing in this season's World Team Tennis. She has been dismissed from the league for breaking COVID protocol. That is nothing of a testing related, but that will be it for her, and more chances for Jessie Pegula, and we'll see Pegula later in women's singles. How good does that feel after you win that deciding point? Does that free you up a little bit in the next few points?
It's usually a little sigh of relief. You're like, whew, got through that situation. And yeah, at this point, playing with house money, especially if you get a freebie on the first point, now you're in the same situation Sandgren was last game. The ball just sails here. Tommy Paul didn't try to do much, just tried to chip that return, float it back deep. But again, we're playing at 1,800 feet of altitude here. If you put height under the ball, a little air underneath it, it's going to float long.
.123 up the tee for Sandgren. He's like a mid-120s guy, I'd say.
Great return from Tommy Paul. Good contact there on the forehand. Paul committed to drive that forehand instead of trying to chip.
Another big point here, 30 all. We saw Sandgren go out wide. Curious to see if he tries to take that away from him. Look at that wide serve, opens up the court real nice for him. Ace up the tee. We're now at 3-all. Due to the coronavirus, putting on live sports must be done with extreme caution these days. And here's a look at some of the league's protocols. Everyone tested before flying here upon arrival, and we have just begun our next round of testing. I mentioned Danielle Collins broke the COVID guidelines. It was nothing to do with a positive or negative test. She just broke the rules, and she will no longer be allowed back here at the Greenbrier. And Jessie Pegula will have to step up in a big way for the Storm, and she has so far. That's what you'd like to see, Mark.
Yeah, moving forward, Tommy Paul has very good volley technique. Nice approach shot. And again, moving forward in the court, when you play the ball on the rise like this, you take away the time for the defender to react.
If he doesn't take that volley, it's almost like he's hitting a backhand deep in the court. Huge difference there. Got to make him pay for that. Player that does that so well is Rafael Nadal. As soon as he sees a ball float, quick feet up the net, angle off a volley. Not an easy volley right there. Pretty impressive so far. Good hands from the 23-year-old.
Yeah, Tommy Paul has great racket head skills. He's especially good at improvising, as we saw right there.
All right, so 7 games in 7 holds. Sandgren will look for one more on his serve, and we will have a 9-point tiebreaker. Speaking of 9-point tiebreakers, I mean, these guys have played so many. 4 of Sandgren's losses, all 4 of them have been in tiebreakers. Jack Sock, Ryan Harrison, Brandon Nakashima, Stevie Johnson. Let me update that stat. All 4 of Tommy Paul's losses have also been in a 9-point tiebreaker. So these guys have played quite a few of these. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Sandgren needs to hold to get there. Still 3-4. Is he getting caught with the wrong grip there, or he likes that chip return?
It's pretty common on the men's tour to, on the first serves, be ready, sitting with a continental, ready to just block that return back because of the pace. This is what you want if you're Tommy Paul. Make Tennys Sandgren play a point of consequence. Maybe sneak your way into a deuce, especially if Sandgren misses a first serve and you get a look at a second.
so many of the top Americans here playing World Team Tennis. Here's a look at the top 8. These two right here on court, right in the middle of the pack. We got youngsters and we got some veterans.
Yeah, the American men are making a move, especially this next generation. Taylor Fritz started to separate himself from the rest of the group. Riley Opelka won the title in Delray Beach this year. Tommy Paul breaking into the top 100 and establishing himself as a ATP regular.
Yeah, before it was Francis and Isner Francis and Taylor a couple years ago were flipped. Now you see Fritz making his move now in the top 25, highest ranked male here at World Team Tennis.
Yeah, this is a group that we've been excited about for a while, 1997 birth years.
Oh my God! 3 amazing shots in a row. How did he get there on that?
Oh, Tommy Paul put a little air under this backhand volley, gave Tennys Sandgren time. Pretty good approach. This volley could have done a little more. By hitting that volley deep, he gave Sandgren a chance to get that forehand. Tennys Sandgren almost used the end of the racket here to get the pass down.
What a great look at the athleticism from Sandgren, but then check out the stretch here from Tommy Paul. Barely sneaks over the net. Okay, so the serving format, this is first to 5, win by 1. It goes 2, 2, 2, 3. So maybe the only consolation of not serving first in the set is that you get the last 3 serves in the breaker.
We've seen a lot of tiebreakers this week come down to that last serve or 2 big serves. All of a sudden you're at 4-4, and then big advantage to the server there. It's a well-played point from Tommy Paul, playing with some good depth, especially down the middle, take away the angle from Sandgren.
Zero 3 hole and a tiebreaker to 5. That's pretty brutal. Go. So now this is going to be 5 set points for Tommy Paul, and they will switch sides. And Thursday, we'll have the Springfield Lasers and the San Diego Aviators at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on ESPN+, and at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN2. The Orange County Breakers take on the Washington Castles. To get ESPN+, download the ESPN app or visit ESPNplus.com. We get back into the stadium court here. 5 set points for Tommy Paul. Yeah, when you go down 0-3, what's the equivalent of like being down 5-1 in a normal 7-point tiebreak or something like that? That's tough.
Yeah, it's not great, but you know, chatting with some of the players here, there's so much pressure to finish the tiebreaker because if you get to 4-2 and haven't finished it off, and the other guy has 3 serves, you're not in the greatest position, even if the scoreboard says otherwise.
Have yet to see that. 5-0 in the 9-point tiebreaker. Another loss in the 9-pointer for Tennys Sandgren. Either way, he kept it close, only 5-4. Men's singles is in the books. And now we transition over to women's singles. That's going to be Jessie Pegula and Bernarda Pera. Tommy Paul coming up big for the Castles, giving his squad a 5-4 lead to start. Tommy Paul coming up big for the Washington Castles. He wins in a tiebreaker, just moving well all over the court, Mark. Here's a look at him at the net.
Yeah, you like to see that from a young player, getting out of their comfort zone at the baseline, moving forward, taking the action to Sandgren.
Speaking of movement, check out our Chosen Foods mover of the match. This was a pretty physical set. Both these guys going corner to corner here.
Yeah, two players who like to play physically, who like to run a lot. Tommy Paul, excellent at turning defense into offense, right there, taking advantage of the big forehand, getting in and knocking off a volley.
Yeah, that was early on in the set, and there are the numbers, and that's pretty surprising. We don't see many singles matches them get over 2,000 feet. Obviously, that went the distance with 9 games. Tommy Paul, he's quite the athlete out there.
That's one of the biggest differentials we've seen, 500 feet-ish.
I think so. And we've seen a couple matches under 1,000. Those would be more of the big servers, short points, 2 or 3 shots. That one had it all, and now we got women's singles. Jessie Pegula will serve to Bernarda Pera. You already got a look at the heavy strokes from Bernarda Pera. Jessie Pegula, 26 years old. Hard not to mention every time we see her, her father is the owner of the Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, Jessica Pegula is someone who's really come into her own over the past year or so. She started working with a new coach, David Witt. First tournament together, they actually won. She won the City Open last year. Big ground strokes, very good out of the backhand corner. They've worked to add a slice, really improved her service motion as well.
People love player comparisons, and even when it's a stretch, they're still fun to do. Luke Jensen kept bringing up names like Lindsay Davenport and Jennifer Capriati just to bring up the point that she is such a clean hitter, always in the middle of the strings, and really thumps it out there from the backcourt. Are you vibing with that player comp?
You know, Lindsay Davenport is 6'2".
Right.
It's for me, that's a little bit of a stretch. I think, you know, Capriati, I think, is a better comparison.
Bernarda Pera she's playing the best tennis of her career. Now she's regularly playing tour tennis. This is her first world team tennis season. Lives in Croatia but plays for the American flag. She just rips.
Yeah, she plays very much like a lefty. She likes to hit her forehand cross court, you know, 2, 3, 4 times in a row. Get the lefty forehand moving away from your backhand. And if you don't get the ball cross court, she's going to take that backhand early and hurt you to the open court.
Deciding point in the first game goes to the Storm. There's a look at Venus Williams playing a little ball girl. She's already played 2 singles matches for the Castles. Pera played the other 4. Excited to see her get back on the court later in the week. She's been playing a lot more doubles, but also 2 sets of singles.
It's just so fun to watch Venus Williams play every time she takes the court.
Yeah, Pera has played 4 of the 6 singles matches. She is 2-2. Venus is 0-2. As we get another look at that big forehand from Pera.
Wow, big hitting from Jessie Pegula. Gets so much pace on the ball. So much power going through the court.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with her power, Mark. She hits it very clean.
Yeah, very clean with her preparation. Does a nice job keeping that racket head up as she turns and then contact out in front. Nice serve from the left-hander, getting the kick going wide. Bernarda Pera very comfortable on clay courts on slower surfaces. Broke into the top 100 in 2018. And 2019 had her best season to date, 3 WTA semifinals. There's that lefty serve out wide on the ad court.
Yeah, we saw the kick out wide on the deuce. That one is the slider in the ad. Looks like she's got them both.
This is a classic Pera play. Serve wide, set up your lefty forehand. Set up the natural play, the lefty forehand to the open court.
There it is again. Nice out wide serve. She gets the game. We're at 1 apiece. Let's check these two out on the old Universal Tennis rating. Pegula with the slight edge, top 60 in UTR, and then Bernarda Pera there at 94, much lower than her WTA rank.
Very comfortable with her two-handed backhand. Like a lot of lefties, similar to actually Kerber, she can generate a lot of angle when she has a chance to hit the two-handed backhand, especially shoulder height.
We had a great look at that because that serve was going wide. Saw the let cord bring it back into the middle of the court. We play lets here at World Team Tennis. Reduce the amount of stoppages. Keep the match moving. Unpredictability. That's fun to watch too.
Jessie Pegula's very comfortable absorbing pace off that backhand side. You saw right there, she got nice low in her stance, wide base. If you watch how wide her base is, she's really able to get down and redirect that ball.
Mark, you love the deep, hard return down the middle, and Pera, I think, likes it as well.
Yeah, she looks committed to hitting returns through the middle. The thing is, if you hit the ball down the middle, a lot of times it comes back through the middle, and then you can be the one who takes control of the point. I mean, that was a great example right there. Pera hit a return through the middle. It was pretty deep, wasn't that hard. Jessie Pegula went back on her forehand, played back through the middle, and Pera had a forehand that she could have controlled the court with. See, this return goes deep through the middle. Jessie Pegula gives up a little ground. She's going to play heavy, and this sets up the point exactly how Pera wants it. That ball bounced on the service line, but Pera not quite getting in position to be aggressive on that shot.
Yeah, she's got a big windup on that forehand. When you see that, are you thinking the coach and you maybe a lot can go wrong there when you have a big windup?
Yeah, if I'm Jesse Pegula or Coach Gooding, I'm thinking, yeah, if I get position, I'm going to rush her to her forehand. I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to go hard and flat.
Hard to the forehand.
At the forehand.
Because then she can't keep up with it.
She won't be able to catch up. Oh, Jesse Pegula almost ran that one down. See Para giving up a little space. She likes time. She needs time to hit that forehand, but hit a pretty good heavy ball off the court. Great awareness moving forward for the swing volley.
Mark, one thing we should note, especially when we saw those Wilson lineups, because of no Collins, Pegula is playing 3 sets today, and they're all in a row. If you were playing 3 sets in a row, would you want it to be back to back to back, or maybe a rest in between?
I'd probably want to keep it moving. That way, you don't have to sit down. My body doesn't get stiff. I'm already warmed up. She's played 3 events a few times this week. I was actually talking to her before the match about that, and she likes it. She said she's here to play, loves playing doubles. She was actually most complimentary of Ken Skupski. She says it's great to play mixed doubles with someone like him.
Yeah. One of many doubles specialists you're going to see here today. So she's going to play women's singles. Then it's going to be mixed doubles with Skupski, like you said, and then women's doubles with Daria Jurek. So 2 break points here for Pegula. We've seen a couple of those big swings from Para just spray a little bit.
That's a great wide serve to save break point. If you're the Storm, maybe you think about sliding over a step and taking that serve away.
Yeah, we've seen that serve come up big for her in a couple clutch moments. It looked like she was going to go back to the ad side to take this. We don't know yet. I'm going to be surprised because that definitely seems like the best serve. I don't even know why I began to say that. We are on the deuce side, receiver's choice. All right, not much between these 2 teams early on. 2 all in women's singles, 7-6 in the total. Here's a closer look at Jess Pegula. It's her making her World Team Tennis debut, having a pretty good 2020. She got to a career high of 55. She's currently 80 in that City Open title in 2019.
Yeah, probably most impressive to me is her tournament in Auckland this year where she made the final. It's really difficult to back up your first success with another one, and making another final so quickly, especially to start 2020, sends a great message to the rest of the field, and most importantly, confidence for her in her own game. coached a few different players, on the WTA Tour, and it's been really fun to see Jessie Pegula's development over the years. Developed as a player, developed as an athlete, really worked to add things to her game. She's like a great example of how players, Tommy Paul as well, players who don't, actually Tennys Sandgren, how players develop at their own rate. Some players, go really quickly and go inside the top 50 fast. Other players take a little longer, figure it out at their own speed.
And to your point, the game's so different. We used to see pressure and players play so well as a teenager. Now, how many players are we seeing not even hitting their peak or their prime, maybe late 20s, early, mid 30s? So plenty of time. She's just 26 years old. Long way to go for her and a lot of these players here.
The game's so physical now, and there's a premium on being healthy. She was out for about a year and a half with a knee issue. It slowed her development now, and it's cool to see her coming into her own here in 2020. Big hitting for Pera. Again, this same for Pegula as Pera. That's the place you can attack her. You can attack her through the middle to the forehand. If you give her a little angle on the forehand side, she's very dangerous.
Kind of feast or famine with that forehand early on, long stroke, but said she's that typical lefty. This looks pretty sweet right here.
Yeah, if you're Jessie Pegula, I think you need to lean that way. Pera, for me, isn't someone who's changing direction a lot with that forehand, but she's going to hook that forehand cross, especially knowing, more of a clay court player, likes to hit that ball cross and go behind the opponent.
So Bernarda Pera said she's ranked 60, which is just one below her career high of 59. She spent a lot of seasons playing strictly ITFs, but I think the results are just starting to come for her.
Yeah, we see 2018, her best major to date was the Australian Open third round. She followed up with a big event in Charleston that year, beating Madison Keys on the green clay at Daniel Island Tennis Center.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Clay is where she's going to do a lot of her damage, more time to set up that big winding forehand. 2-3 on serve here. Women's singles, second set of 5. And you're right, Mark. You really don't see a lot of forehands down the line for Pera.
Yeah, for a lot of players, there were probably 2 balls there that she could have taken line. Jessie Pegula left balls, short. But Pera, likes getting on the outside of the ball and getting that forehand running cross court towards the backhand.
That's big up the tee right there, 100. And you were saying her backhand is so good when she takes it early. So if that's the case, if she's going down the line more, don't you think she's going to get the opportunity to see more backhands and take it early?
Well, she wants to hit the backhand cross court. So your goal with a big forehand is to basically hit a forehand so good that your opponent hits it late, can't get it cross court.
Gotcha. So the forehand cross court, hooking cross court, then you hope the Pegula backhand kind of comes back middle court,
Exactly.
then she takes the backhand early, back into Pegula's forehand
You're
side.
hoping that you're going to hook the ball cross. Pegula can't really get behind the ball with her left leg, arms it through the middle, and you can step in with your backhand.
Is it just me, or is she strictly going out wide on every big point, ad and deuce?
Yeah, and that's what I like about her. She knows her game, and she sticks with the tactics that she likes to play, even if you're expecting it. It creates a sense of mild frustration in the opponent too, especially when you know where she's serving, and you know the ball's spinning away from you, the serve's too good, you can't get it back, or it rushes you.
This is what we love to see in World Team Tennis. All the teammates out putting in their 2 cents as far as coaching. See Ginepri there for the Castles. The whole team huddling up for the Storm.
Pera so determined to stay cross court with that forehand.
Yeah, that seems to be the pattern both these players like. 3-all, 15-all here in this second set. Kind of feel the tension rising a little bit. Getting to the business end here of these sets to 5.
Yeah, great response. Last 2 points from Jessie Pegula. First point, hitting a lot of backhands. This point, big serve down the tee. A little smile there. Useful time for a net cord.
Yeah, I would say that one technically helped Pegula out, but sometimes when it slows it down, you can adjust a little bit. I wouldn't say that was one of those roll your eyes, completely unfair, and good to play on with those.
Yeah, we see how dangerous Jessie Pegula is when she gets a little angle on that forehand.
Yeah, that is a pattern we have not seen much, is the Pegula forehand into the Pera back, and it's just been mostly the Pera forehand.
It's a great body serve, Pera, jamming Pegula. Kind of an underused serve. This ball's going to tail in right at her right rib cage. There was so much action on that forehand. You could see following the ball how It hit the court and just exploded up and away from Pegula. She had to track so far back to get that backhand in her strike zone. You can just see the shape of the ball coming off her racket.
There we see that forehand down the line / inside out. She gets herself 3 game points now to send it to a 9-pointer.
Yeah, Bernarda Pera got a short ball off going fast middle at the Pegula forehand.
Getting a good amount of free points on that big lefty serve from Pera. 2 sets in, and we already got our second 9-point tiebreaker. The first one went to the Castles when Tommy Paul took it 5-0 over Tennis Sandgren. So we're at 9-8 for the Castles. Women's singles 9-pointer to come. First of 5, win by 1. Switch sides only once after 4 points.
Arevalo getting warmed up down there. This is a great scenario. This is what Coach Ginepri wanted before the match. I said, Robbie, what's the most important set for you guys? He said, all of them. Jessie Pegula hit an absolute rocket of a backhand out of the corner.
It's impressive to follow up a big shot with the touch. And you're going to see the backhand drop shot right there. A little tricky ball right here. Just goes for the small. I guess Pera didn't really give it much effort. A little swinging volley over the shoulder.
That backhand changed the point. She went from defense to offense, big forehand cross, and then showing off the nice touch around the net with the dropper and the backhand overhead.
She had a good look at that one. Didn't really, we've seen some of the kick serves kind of get out of her strike zone, but that was where she wanted it. Okay, so this is interesting. We're using Hawkeye Live, and we got a great look at this one, Mark. That forehand was definitely wide.
Yeah, I thought it almost bounced outside the doubles alley. That's an exaggeration. But
Yeah, it was at least 6 inches wide. Okay, so that's the wrong ball,
that's not right
obviously,
at all.
and that's why it messed up. So we have an umpire to overrule egregious mistakes. Take a listen here.
I think even the Castles teammates, you see them walking over there, they have a pretty good idea about where that ball bounced. They're looking at Tommy Paul pointing at a mark.
Yeah, here's another look. Yeah, definitely
Yeah, that's a great
wide.
shot.
Yeah, great job by camera work right there. And it was obvious that there is a mistake because when they went to the review, it picked up a different ball that was well inside.
Dude, it's impossible for that to be the proper call. It's impossible. The mark's going this way and it was the forehand going that way. This far inside
If there's
the
a
line.
millimeter on the line,
It's impossible.
it's acceptable, but not inside the line.
Whether the graphic looked right or not, they've got the measurement inside there, and they said it was good.
We're trying to give them hand signals from up here how far out it is. Another look. This is a great look, and this is right where we're sitting. Oh, that is a shame for the Storm. Another look. It really just wasn't even close. So instead of 2-all, it's 3-1. I guess it's a tough ball for the umpire to overrule because it's on the far side, but you got to think that's a mistake that needs to be seen. Tough break for Pegula. She's now down 3-1.
The chair's still on the walkie-talkie trying to figure out what's going on. They might be calling Hawkeye headquarters in Hong Kong.
Who's that?
Yeah, this is huge. 2-all or 3-1 and a tiebreaker to 5. I feel like everyone in the stadium knew it was out.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a discrepancy on the Hawkeye call.
So now they're overruling the call, it looks like. And now, of course, Ginepri and the Castles are going to have their own thoughts about that.
Yeah, in theory, you want to play the calls as they're made as a professional.
Sure.
But a call that's clearly wrong in that case, especially when there's an electronic system.
Of course. So Hawkeye Live making all the calls. Those are electronic made calls, out fault, foot fault. It obviously didn't pick that one up. And yeah, I mean, we talked about before, the prize money's big, $500,000 to the winning team. If it didn't get called out, you're going to take it. It's not really bad play on you. Although then at the same time, if Para was to say it was out, then we'd applaud that and say good sportsmanship. So
If the ball was up, show me the mark.
Yeah,
If the ball was
the
up,
machine
show me
makes
the proof.
obviously good calls, but in some cases, for a blatant miss like that or an egregious miss,
Devices or
On show by Hawkeye, they have confirmed that the ball was out.
show me the proof.
there can be a system for how to address these situations.
yep, you see Arevalo making his point made. He wants to see the mark. Mark, just go down there and tell him it was out.
So
You got a great view of it.
I coached a match for the
Another look
for
right
the
here.
Aviators in 2017, and they forgot to switch the system from
It's
singles.
not even close.
They didn't flip the switch from singles to doubles, and the ball bounced in the middle of the doubles alley. And the machine called it out, and the chair saw it. And I said, are we going to replay the point? He's like, no, the point counts.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I hope that guy wasn't invited back to work any matches. It's tough to hear the whole conversation down there, but they got it right. It's 2-all. They switch sides. First to 5 here, Pegula to serve. She's going to get 2 more serves, and then Para's going to get the last 3.
Well, Arevalo's over here sitting with the Storm trying to plead his case, and Jesse Pegula just told him to beat it. Tennis Sankrin having words with Bernardo Para.
And now you hear the teams getting into it. We had a little bit of an early start here, kind of slow. The match was close, and I got to admit, this drama that just unfolded has brought a little extra spice to that match as we check out that nice carving drop shot from Para.
A great drop shot. When there's minor controversies, things can get a little contentious out there. Don't mind seeing that little fire from both teams.
It's definitely just got good out here. Three serves left for Para. Just a reminder that on court, none of those players can see the replays that were rolling in, the ones you're seeing at home when you're watching. So no one was able to get a look at that ball, but anyone that saw it well saw it was out. Either way, we're moving past it, and it doesn't matter because we got the drama we wanted. 3-all here in this second set tiebreaker. You knew that forehand was going to the backhand corner. There's no question about that. Another one sprays long. And now we got 2 set points for Pegula. This is what we love about World Team Tennis, Mark. 1 point decides the set.
Nice motion from Bernarda Para. She gets a great turn. Right hand stays up. Good shoulders.
Ladies and gentlemen, Orlando head coach Jim Gooding. Let's call it Geico timeout.
Perfect time for a Geico timeout. Our favorite sports analogy here is icing the kicker in the NFL. Para just dials up the ace at 3-4. Make her think about this one. So instead of 9 games all in the total column, it is now 10-8 for Washington. We've had 2 sets and 2 tiebreakers, both going to the Castles. 2 sets in, we still have 3 remaining. And a little bit of drama here on the court. Para's serve comes up big. 10-8 Castles, mixed doubles when we come back.
We're fine with it. Not fine. The way he talked to me when I was sitting there, I was not trying to do anything. He said, get the fuck out. He said,
I'm right here. How's it going, buddy? I'm right here. Hey, Marcelo, how's it going?
So, Raj, so the primary machine showed that graphic that we sent up. Then when I looked at the TV graphic, it was obviously out. So then we looked at the backup machine, and the backup machine had the call that we saw on TV.
So this is where we have to be careful and not put something out before they should.
Well, I didn't know until we saw.
When the graphic came up, the ball was going the opposite trajectory.
I don't have a screen up there that I can see what you're seeing.
Yeah, but like once the score is called, like I mean that's the problem.
Well, actually, if we have evidence of something
we want the right call. I understand that.
And if we have evidence of the correct call,
yeah, we'll serve.
Our third set, ladies and gentlemen, will be mixed double. Mixed double. Coming up, we'll introduce the players momentarily.
monitor and look at what he's putting out. I don't have anything on my monitor, and there's nothing on their monitor. Well, I'm using a split screen for the footballs and live anyway.
time for mixed doubles. Back out there yet again for Orlando, the 2019 City Open champion and a finalist at the 2020 ASB Classic in Auckland. Give it up once more for Jessica Pegula. He was the 2017 WTT Rookie of the Year and a winner of 5 ATP double titles. Thanks college tennis at LSU. Give it up for Ken.
2 tight sets so far here between the Storm and the Castles. Here's a look at Bernarda Pera hit some nice forehands. She would come through in the tiebreaker, winning 5-4 in a deciding set in the tiebreaker. And now it's time to check out our Chosen Foods mover of the match, and this would also go to Pera, Mark.
Bernarda Pera was working hard, staying with her patterns, using that forehand off the court, tracking down and absorbing the big offensive balls from Jessie Pegula. Nice job keeping Pegula behind the baseline.
Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers yet. Are you predicting one over 2,000 feet? We have not seen it. We're not cheating here. And there it is.
Oh, good call, Jeff.
Slimmest of margins. I'm getting really good at this Chosen Foods mover of the match. Bernarda Pera gets it. And now we switch over to mixed doubles for the 3rd set of 5. But before we get there, big news breaking in the tennis world today. Mark Ein, the owner of the Washington Castles and also the City Open, that's in DC, he has announced that the City Open has been canceled. You can check out the quote right there. In the end, it was just too many complications with the traveling, and that's big, Mark, because that puts a big question mark on the tournaments to follow here in the States, and obviously the U.S. Open being the biggest concern.
Yeah, Mark Ein was working, diligently. He was working so hard to provide an event to bring back. This was going to be the first ATP event on the calendar. It was going to be the lead up to the U.S. Open, and as we see in the quote, there's just too many issues that are still beyond their control, having to do with international travel. Can players get into the U.S.? Can players exit the U.S. and go to Europe and play from there? And, for Mark Ein, it was getting too close to the tournament date, and you can't leave players hanging that long. And, again, the sport is very grateful to Mark and the things he's done for the game.
Yeah,
it's
tough.
Just unprecedented times.
Yeah, tough news all around for a lot of players, and it makes us even more appreciative of the time we have here at the Greenbrier playing World Team Tennis mixed doubles now to start here. And now that we have time, we got to get back into the drama that has unfolded here, because tennis is interesting with drama, right? This isn't like basketball or football where you can give someone an elbow or box them out. Like you got to get in someone's head, and you saw Marcelo Arevalo trying to get into the dome of Jessie Pegula after we had that line call issue. So not trying to make a big thing out of it, but you can just feel it. It got a little more interesting on the court. Both teams' ears perked up a little bit, and it's going to be Arevalo going against Pegula here in the mixed alongside their partner. Yeah, even after the set when we were in commercial break, Arevalo's still pleading his case. It's just tennis, right? Even if you know you're not making sense, it's just your duty to just keep arguing, right?
It's the principle of the thing. There's a couple other dynamics here at play. The first is, in normal tournaments, you play somebody, you might have a heated match. You won't see them for a few days or at least a week. Here, everyone's together. You're
Great
seeing
call.
everybody day in, day out. You're playing the same teams again. There's a good shot of Arevalo. And there's about 3 or 4 chair umpires here. So you're seeing the same umpires constantly.
Great call, partner. Good chance you see him out on the golf course later, maybe the lobby bar. Everyone here under this beautiful roof here at the Greenbrier.
Yeah, something happens in consecutive matches. Maybe you're like, this guy again.
And Arevalo, and if Arevalo's one of those guys where if he's on your team, you love it. You love him, pleading his case, defending you out there. And then you play against him, and you're like, dude, get out of here. And that's basically what Pegula told him before he served. You saw Arevalo on the baseline, and Pegula's like, why are you still talking?
good hold for Arevalo to put aside the drama, focus on his service game, get a good hold. Because if he loses serve, that's a disaster for the Castles.
Yeah. Yeah, one hold out the gates. It's now 11-8 for the Castles. Our first look at Ken Skupski. That is the older of the Skupski brothers and the lefty. Neil is younger and a righty. I got to admit, it would be pretty great if we had a Pegula overhead right at the net. Maybe Arevalo just happens to get in the way. I could spice it up even a little bit more. 37 years old, third World Team Tennis season for Skupski. Do it.
Good overhead. He snapped that into the upper tank.
So there's been some changing of the lineups in mixed doubles for the Storm, but as of late, they've played 5 in a row, Skupski and Pegula. The first 2, Urak was getting in there, Tennis Sandgren, but it seems they've found the duo they want in Pegula and Skupski.
Jesse Pegula brings a good dynamic to the doubles court. He's great on the return, can get that return down low at the server's feet. Also can bring a little more firepower on the serve than Urak.
Ken Skupski, 37 years old. 5 career doubles titles. He had 46 at the Future and Challenger level. Just another great double specialist here at the Greenbrier. See that mailed Rookie of the Year in 2017. That was with the OC Breakers. That was when they won the championship. This year playing for the Orlando Storm, of course. No longer playing with his brother on tour. His brother now plays alongside Jamie Murray.
Marcelo Arevalo has really become a fan favorite here in World Team Tennis, but there's so much energy. Teammates love him.
Yeah, World Team Tennis has that college tennis feel where, you know, come-ons after every point, bring the passion and intensity in doubles, and doubles is 3 out of the 5 sets, so this is a guy you want on your squad. As we check out his nose on the net, spiking it with one arm there.
And these sets, they're so short. They're such a sprint. You know, 4 games, change over, 4 more games. So you better come in hot. And Arevalo comes into every set hot.
And if you're playing against him, you better match that intensity if you want a chance. Yeah, that's Arina Rodionova serving. Russian-born, plays for the Aussie flag. Not so much a physical presence out there, but just more crafty with her hands. Got the lob, got the dip volley. Good feel out there. Good compliment to Arevalo. Just going nuts all over the court. Nice mixed dubs point right there.
Yeah, there's some of the variety from Rodionova. Driving the first ball. Jesse Pegula hit a good volley back, but didn't close. And then dropping it right at her feet again.
Rodionova also one of the more willing dancers in between points to our music here. Another look at Arevalo all over it.
Well struck. Arevalo. Skupski thought he could cheat a little bit towards the middle.
Yeah, it wasn't a go. He's just looking for it in the middle. Pulls it up the line.
feeling, you know, when you get passed down the line.
And it sucks because you know they got the best view, and now you got to think about it in the future points.
Although it should be said, you know, I've talked to some great doubles players. You know, I was speaking with Glenn Michibata, former #1 in the world in doubles, and he said if you don't get passed down the line a couple times a set at least, you're not being active enough.
Right, it's the net person's job, especially in mixed, to do your server the service of being active up there.
Yeah, it's one of the hazards of the job. If you're going to get involved and try to help out the server, taking balls to the middle, you're going to get beat a couple times. All right, Ken Skupski needs to get back there and pump up his partner to bring some positive energy. You have to bluff it a little bit, especially in World Team Tennis. Rodionova, Arevalo, very demonstrative, like to bounce around out there.
Going to the I formation, give Arevalo a little different look than when he passed him up the line. That's a good pattern for the Storm. Pegula back there feeling confident with the ground strokes. Skupski doing his part.
Yeah, great adjustment. The Arevalo forehand to the Pegula backhand. Jesse Pegula's not going to miss too many shots from there. And Arevalo gets out of the pattern fast. He doesn't want to keep hitting down the line with her.
Right. Interestingly enough, Mark, we saw in past, when Skupski and Pegula were back in their last mixed doubles match, we're seeing first volleys go to Skupski, telling them that that's how much respect they have for Pegula ground strokes. They'd rather hit to Skupski back there. So Pegula, very confident back there.
Great return from Rodionova. She's really hit the forehand well this past week. She's spent a lot of time working on it, being more aggressive, accelerating the racket.
So deciding point in mixed doubles, gender to gender. It will be Pegula serving to Rodionova. She just saw the forehand. It's got to feel good for Pegula. Arevalo gets his racket on it, but too much angle from Pegula. That one hits the net. We are at 2-all in mixed doubles, second half of mixed when we come back. We'll have another Serie A match for you today at 1:25 Eastern, 10:25 a.m. Pacific. Atalanta hosts Bologna on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. And for all your soccer needs, check out ESPN FC on ESPN Plus every day. You saw Venus Williams on the bench there. She will not be playing today. Taking a day off. She's played 2 single sets so far and a handful of double sets. We were talking about it earlier, but the stats for the Castles, not that great except for mixed doubles. They are 29-20. That's just about 60% of games won. So this is where they do their damage in the mixed format. And if mixed is where they're doing their damage, Arevalo is certainly the leader in that regard. He's 29 years old, currently ranked 57 in dubs from El Salvador. And this guy brings it. Great guy to have on a team tennis format.
Veteran in the lower levels of tennis, really worked his way up through the ranks at the Futures and the Challenger level. Big breakout this year in Melbourne 2020, Aussie Open quarterfinalist.
Yeah, strictly a doubles player now. Got to a little bit outside the top 100, making him the highest ranked Salvadorian player ever. Nice accomplishment. Jaw from Jessie, holding her ground there.
Yeah, great volley, and then a come on looking directly at him.
Oh, I missed that. That's what I had my eye looking out for that too.
Keep an eye on Jessie Pegula here. Nice volley technique on this forehand.
Oh yeah, right in the eyes. Suicide saber there, trying to pick off the Skupski forehand.
Nice first volley from Ken Skupski, right at the feet of Rodionova.
Arevalo, he said he brings the fire and the passion on court, but really just an all-around fun guy, and you can just tell the teammates love to be around him. How cool is this guy?
So much energy, so much passion.
Yeah, I mean, really, I told you Rodionova likes to dance between the points, but there's Arevalo bringing it. Can't say it enough, but I'm sure all the coaches here are thinking, if there's a guy, everyone needs their double specialist, and this is the guy I'm sure every coach will take.
Great team guy.
Yeah, nice to have him here, making his World Team Tennis debut, having a lot of fun and playing great tennis.
Well-struck return from Pegula. When she has time returning on the ad side, she can create so much angle, return cutting through the sideline.
Thank you.
Massive from Ken Skupski up the line. Orlando's done a better job keeping Arevalo home, not letting him get involved and cross as much.
Best way to neutralize someone like that, right at him. So 4 straight points for the Storm. They get the much-needed break. Pegula, like you were saying, going right at the net guy.
Love that return from Jesse Pegula.
And with the Storm up break, they will be serving for set 3.
So now a chance to serve out the set for the Storm. It's going to be Pegula. They hold here, and then we are just at 13 all, passing the halfway point of this match. This one is one of the tighter matches so far this season.
Oh, what a point. What a point. Arina Rodionova made a great move on the Pegula backhand, but it was the defense from Ken Skupski that kept the point alive. Quick hands. Jesse Pegula, a little help from the net cord.
Nice move from Skupski. Didn't get quite enough on it. Got jammed a little bit. Arevalo, nice focus and concentration with little angles it off there.
There's the forehand return from Rodionova. Really aggressive on that forehand this week. Ken Skupski knew if he got the strings in that volley, it's a put away.
Got in Arevalo's head. He got the shot he wanted. I mean, that's shoulder height for just a little too much swing on that.
Kind of a big swing, but again, the story, Arevalo not wanting to rally cross court with Pegula, want to get out of that pattern.
That could be the easiest volley he had all day. Not to rip on him, but he just knows it. 15-30 in a little hole here. Totally redeems himself, that time with the 2 hands on the stick. A little inside out short spike there. That's how you do it. You get right up on that center strap, take up so much space.
Great serve to the Arevalo forehand, the off speed, making him generate pace, not really comfortable generating speed with the racket on the forehand side.
It's interesting how that works when you get these double specialists that love to block the return, come in, they're firm with the hands. They're just not as comfortable back there. And you get a serve that looks like it's easy to return, but that's just not his comfort level. And you said he doesn't want to rally with Pegula. Take Pegula's chances there.
Well, in doubles, you practice so much that you take away a lot of the decision making. You make it really streamlined where you're hitting the ball and when, but all of a sudden you have time to think.
Right.
Choices cycling through your brain.
2 set points for the Storm. Nice clutch hold for Pegula in the Storm. After dropping the first 2 tiebreakers in those first 2 sets, they take this 3rd set 5-3, and we are all tied up. All right, so it got very testy, and it got fiery out here. Arevalo leading the charge for the Castles over a line call earlier in the match. Things have settled down since then, and the mixed doubles was key for the Storm. Skupski coming through for them. 3 sets down, still 2 more to go, and that means it's time to check in with Olivia Decker. World Team Tennis Week in Review coming up next.
Okay. It's tied at 13 all. You can see the big swing mixed doubles had on this match between Orlando and Washington. 3 sets down, 2 to go. What a great start to day 10, but what a week it's been. 2 teams are tied at the top of the standings, 5-1. Philadelphia and Chicago playing later today. That's at 3 o'clock. You're going to want to catch that. And then teams have been signing players mid-season. We've had exciting subs in key sets. And Kim Clijsters may be the story of the first week. The Hall of Famer coming out of retirement again, and she's won all of her women's singles matches. Let's take a look at the week that was.
Week 1 of World Team Tennis 2020 is in the books. There have been superstars who have raised their games to another level, teams that have come together like no one expected, and a lineup of stars that rivals the heyday of World Team Tennis. Kim Clijsters made her return to World Team Tennis a memorable one during Week 1.
Clijsters able to seal it for New York. The Hall of Famer takes down the Australian Open champion from this year.
Bethany Maddox-Sands and her partner Jeannie Bouchard helped the massively talented Chicago team to lead in the standings.
Great defense there by Maddox-Sands, winning a huge one for her team.
Grand Slam champions Venus Williams and Sophia Kenin showed the tennis world just what Grand Slam champions can do.
It's just terrific by Kenin. Could not do it any better. Great angle serve outside to Venus's backhand. She had to stretch for it.
And on the men's side, to say the guys are bringing the heat in the mountains of Allegheny would be an understatement. The young superstars of today have been battling it out with the established stars day in and day out, all trying to assert their dominance in a sport looking for a reason to cheer again.
It's wide, and there is the break back. The Empire.
World Team Tennis is keeping it real on the only stage available for tennis players. And if Week 1 is a sign of things to come, it will only get better.
So the race for the playoff is on. We still have 9 days of the regular season remaining. You can see big matches today. We have 4 total, and there's going to be a lot of separation happening on this exciting day 10. Stick around after the break. We have women's doubles and men's doubles, as there's going to be a big conclusion in this one between Orlando and Washington. Coming up.
It feels like a complete restart here before we start this 4th set between the Castles and the Storm, because we are knotted up at 13 apiece as we get into women's doubles, and it is going to be the 3rd set in a row for Jessica Pegula playing alongside Daria Jurak, and again against Rodionova and Bernarda Pera. Are you leaning any which way in this match, Mark?
I don't know which way I'm leaning, but I'll tell you what, Orlando needs some production out of its women's doubles. It's been their weakest event of the season to date, winning about 39% of their games. They need to put a big number on the board here.
Yeah, to your point, they're 23 and 32. And good news for them, because the Castle's strongest point of their lineup was the mixed doubles, and they just took that 5-3. Pegula, look to see her carry on that momentum. She's hitting the big ball today, and this time she's got Jurak at the net picking balls off. Is there a best player on the court for sure? Is there a weaker player on the court?
For me, this match is going to come down to how well Daria Jurak plays. She needs to make sure she puts away her volleys, and she has to make a lot of first serves today.
hands from Jurak there to start.
See, the Castles are going to pick on her. Anytime they have high balls, they're going to go right at Jurak, test out her hands at the net. This first game is a big one for the Storm.
In the same way Jeannie Bouchard for the smash likes to stay back at the baseline, dictate from there almost away and just set up her partner. That's what Pegula's doing for Jurak.
Yeah, she can really hurt people if she gets her feet set. Even there, when she was rushed on the return, defends with the backhand, can still generate a lot of pace, and in that way she can set up Jurak.
So the Orlando Storm have lost 2 in a row. They're 3 and 4, but something that sticks out to me, they are the only team to beat the Chicago Smash. Chicago Smash, obviously, with just 1 loss.
Chicago Smash so good. Emphatic win there for the Orlando Storm. Think down the stretch, if they can stay healthy, get the doubles going, especially the women's doubles, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, excited to see Pegula keep rolling with her momentum, get a lot of sets in. It's going to be her the rest of the way with no Danielle Collins. She's certainly putting in the heavy lifting today. This is her 3rd consecutive set. Another look at the Paris serve. Going to be even deadlier in doubles with that Carver out wide on the ad side. Oh, I love a good lob return, Mark.
Daria Jurak does that so well. She spends a lot of time in practice working on it. And right there, you can see how it provides an avenue for her to get into the net. Daria Jurak needs to be the solid returner on her team. If she's solid and makes a lot of her returns, it can free up Pegula to be the one who's hurting and trying to be aggressive with big ground strokes. You know, when you're thinking about doubles combinations, you usually think about one player who's solid from the back, maybe better at the net, and one player who is going to be aggressive and creative from the back. You know, you can't have 2 players missing returns. You need to have one player who makes a lot of returns.
Right, especially in women's and mixed. You kind of want that difference in partners. Just different patterns in those sets versus men's doubles. We said earlier that the numbers for the Castles weren't that good, and here's a look why. They're 3 and 3, which is fine. They won their first 2. They have tight wins by 1 or 2, and then when they're losing, they're getting blown out. But that's because that Philly team is really good. But hey, they're 3 and 3. They're looking good in the standings.
That Springfield loss was a bad one. That was actually a tricky match. They started outdoors, moved indoors. That was Springfield's only win of the season.
of liked the move, though. She was fearless up there, held her ground, maybe moved a little too early.
Yeah, I think you need to make that move. Para rallying with Jurak, maybe not the best or strongest pattern for her team.
And that's that Para forehand. She loves to hook around cross court. First point of the game, no biggie. Making her presence felt is Pegula at the net.
Nice first serve from Daria Jurak. It's one of the things she's worked on.
Yeah, she's no stranger to team tennis. 7th World Team Tennis season.
She spends a lot of time in Southern California now. Told me that she was working on her game in Orange County for a large part of the last couple months. Both teams are going to have a lot of opportunities here. It's about who can make the most of short balls, who can be the most solid over the stretch of the set.
Got away with one there. Pegula knows it too. She had the volley. Good hands from Para. Rodionova lucky that she threw that volley in the net. That's so doubles right there. You know, those just, you look back at those certain points where you have an easy ball and you miss it. You'll take any point. You can get so much scrapping in doubles. All right, 101 up the tee. You said she's improved the first serve. Came up with a big one right there.
Yeah, Jurak's doing a better job turning. She has a little bit more pronounced turn than she used to, and reaching up higher. Great feel from Rodionova, putting it just far enough out of the reach of Jurak that she can't get there with comfort.
So they're going to take it on the deuce side, Castles. They get to receiver's choice here for this deciding point.
Jessie Pegula, what play! Sick volleys from Jessie Pegula, keeping the point alive, just defending.
And if you like that, Mark, you like soccer, because tonight more MLS group stage matches. These are on ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Atlanta United, Columbus Crew at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Then the Montreal Impact take on DC United. Got a little second wind up here, just had a little bite of a kind bar. Let's go. 4th of 5 sets. Great doubles point right there. Both teams getting hyped on both sides. That had everything. Lobs, good hands. Tricky overhead from Jurak. You see the sun starting to play a part in this match, but we are on serve, 1 serving 2.
Man, great opportunity after winning a deuce game, a deciding point game for the Orlando Storm to try to break away. See if you can get ahead on the Rodionova serve. Here's an opening. Jessie Pegula, if she gets a look at the second serve, watch for her to step in, maybe take a return up the line.
Ripped the return. Rodionova doing a good job staying low and ripping it back. Why does it feel better to get double faults in doubles? Because those breaks are such a premium.
I appreciate double faults all the time when I'm returning.
Rodionova thinks it was out, but I got a pretty good look at it, and that was on the line. As they get the early separation here in women's doubles, and it was so huge in this deciding point in that last game. It had it all, and right now the Storm go up 3-1, taking a little bit of control of this match. Take a look at what is still to come here. DraftKings WTT schedule. We got the Empire, Kim Clijsters, Jack Sock, and then a great battle between the Freedoms and the Smash 2 5-1 teams. Who is going to come out on top there in first place alone? And then we finish it off with the OC Breakers. That last match will be the OC Breakers and the Vegas Rollers. And important to note that the Rollers have a new player addition. That'll be Ayla Tomljanovic, subbing in for Asia Muhammad, struggling with a shoulder injury. Interested to see her adjust to the World Team Tennis format.
Yeah, it's a great addition for Vegas. Ayla Tomljanovic, very dangerous. One of the best backhands around. Big ball striker. Can hurt you from all parts of the court like Daria Jurek.
Yeah,
hurt the castles right here.
No-look volley.
Talked about it earlier. Who's going to be more solid? Who's going to make more returns? Who's going to make more routine shots? And it's the unforced errors the last 5 minutes or so from the castles that's been the difference. Missed a bunch of returns, missed a bunch of high volleys.
Jurek leading the charge, taking control here.
Veteran play from Jurek. Arevalo was off the bench. He wanted to reach.
that's what Jay Gooding having a word there. Hard to tell from that angle if she went over.
Yeah, that was a reach. He called the reach.
Thank you, partner. Missed that one. So 30-15. She's got an easy volley. Tough break there. Mark, like you said, in doubles, got to put returns in. Para hits a big ball, but she's just spraying a couple here.
Game point here for the Storm.
That's what happens, sorry partner, when Jurak is so active and then Rodionova maybe anticipates she's going to move, ends up trying to put it up her alley, but
yeah,
she stays home.
You're exactly right. It's Daria Jurak. Her improved play over the last few minutes as well. She's become more dependable at the net, really helped out Jessie Pegula and made the Castles pay when they've left the ball high. That's a lot of power from Jessie Pegula. There was no doubt about that one. When Rodionova popped up the first volley, next ball was going right at her body.
I think everyone in the stadium knew this was coming at her. Look out.
Sometimes easier to take the ball with a backhand volley. It's weird that she tried to hit a forehand. That 11 a.m. sun's difficult for left-handers.
Yeah, you don't see professionals bounce serves very often. Good time for a Geico timeout. Robbie Ginepri. This is a big hold here. Don't want to go down 4 going into that final set.
Rodionova had a lot of time to move off the heavy ground stroke. Para's going to play with some spin here. This spin moves Pegula back. Ball's in the air a long time. Rodionova has a lot of time to move to the middle.
Good move by Pegula, good cover by Jurak.
Yeah, you'd like to see an aggressive move, you know, later in the match after you've been passed on a big one earlier. She had that move earlier, she made the same move, got passed. This one pays off. Nice finish from
You can't miss those if you're Para.
Yeah, it looks like Washington is, they're not really content to make them volley. They're trying to do too much with the passes. Daria Jurak actually did a great job putting herself in position after a big return from Pegula. There was just so much pace coming back from Para. She made that racket wobble in her hand.
She loves the out wide serve. Only if you go up the line just a few times, 10, 15, 20% of the time, it pays off big time just to keep them honest there. And that was a much needed ace here.
Yeah, she hits that serve really well and she sets it up. Kind of lulls you after a few sliders wide.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Orlando head coach Jay Foote has called Geico timeouts.
So they squandered 2 set points, and they still have a third here. It's going to be Para to Pegula, game point / set point. Para misses a couple forehands, and she doubles on set point. The Castles jumped out to a 10-8 lead after 2 breakers, and then it is the Storm that take 10 out of the next 14 games. They are now up 18-14 thanks to mixed doubles and women's doubles. We still have men's doubles to go. This one is getting good. Don't go anywhere.
Chair, a winner of 4 doubles titles in his career, last in 2018 in Atlanta.
18-14 lead for the Storm. This is how we got there. It was 2 tie-break sets for the Castles to start us off. And then Pegula in the mixed and in the women's doubles. Great play from Daria Jurak, and now they are up 4 going into the last set.
You got to give a lot of credit to the singles coming through, even in the losses coming through with 4 games each. That's a big boost to the Orlando Storm getting into the doubles.
Yeah, that's a great look at that. If you're going to lose 4-5, keep it close, and then when you get the wins, 5-3, 5-1, that is huge. Up 4 going into the last set. Got to feel good about yourselves. And now it's going to be Sandgren and Skupski. And our first look at Nick Monroe playing with the fiery Marcelo Arevalo. Huge implications here in the standings. It's day 10. We still have a long way to go, but right now Washington's tied for 3rd. If they lose this, they will get down to 9th place. Now we have way more matches to go today, and for the Storm, they're tied for 5th, and if they win here, then they get into a tie for 3rd. There's a look. See that huge log jam at 3 and 4. You're just gonna have to trust me with what I said, but you'll see the Castles will go to 3 and 4 in that big tie, and then you got the Lasers there at the bottom.
How about Jessica Pegula throwing 14 games up on the board for the Storm?
Yeah, we were questioning where the stamina and the conditioning would be, but she looked just as good in that third set as she did in the first. Good fight from her.
Oh, the wheels from the big man. Ken Skupski making that one look easy. All those wind sprints and his LSU days paying off right there.
Four former college tennis players on the court. Love to see that. It's an all SEC partnership for the Storm. LSU Tigers, Tennessee Volunteers. And then what do we got? UNC and Tulsa on the other side.
ACC and what, Conference USA?
We were just told that is the American Conference. Come on, Mark.
I'm a Power 5 guy. What can I say?
We'll have more World Team Tennis for you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPN2. San Diego Aviators take on the New York Empire. And you'll get a chance to see Kim Clijsters there. Also, Jan Michael Gamble will join us in the booth for that match tomorrow morning. Kim Clijsters, the story of the season so far, 5-0 in singles, making her second comeback from retirement. That is a great look at how you shrink the court if you're that guy at the net.
When you see that down the line rally happening, you have license to creep over as far as you can. Look at Ken Skupski. Impossible to pass him cross court from that position in the court Arevalov's in. Easy pickings right there.
Yeah, that was a great look at that dynamic of doubles and the geometry of the game.
Beautiful back out of the line from Tennis Sandgren, taking advantage of the early move from Nick Monroe. Nick Monroe's a big energy guy in doubles, just like Arevalov. Monroe likes to fly around the court and create some confusion. Uses athleticism as a weapon.
38-year-old veteran, fourth season playing World Team Tennis. That's Nick Monroe. Tar Heel from 2000 to 2004. Wow. Looked like a Urax volley just a set ago. Closer look at Nick Monroe. Currently ranked 84 in dubs, career high of number 30 in 2017. 4 ATP titles, all with different partners. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Nick Monroe does a great job selecting partners, plays doubles with Jack Sock sometimes, Jackson Withrow, 13 career challenger titles, and the second season back with the Castles.
Best finish at a slam was quarterfinals 2017 US Open.
Nick Monroe is one of those guys that you always see working on his serve, working, taking extra returns at 7 p.m. at night, spending time in the gym at all hours. Really a true professional.
Another example of players playing well into their 30s. 38 years old. not a good feeling. 2 doubles in a row and no ad scoring. And then that is a good feeling after 2 doubles to get the service winner. Doesn't really have the kick serve, right? He's always kind of sliding around the right side of the ball.
Yeah, he hits a lot of serves with slice. Much prefers to serve into the forehand corner of both boxes. A little more natural for his motion. Great first volley from Nick Monroe. Would have bounced back after a couple double faults. Get back ahead in the game.
And having a plan in his head when he gets that first volley, if you have Sandgren and Skupski back there, he's going to Skupski.
Absolutely. And going over the low part of the net, cross court. Just minimize your risk.
All right, clutch hold. Let's look at the upcoming schedule for the Washington Castles, presented by DraftKings. Orange County on Thursday, Chicago on Fridays. They got 4 in a row. They go OC, Chicago, San Diego, New York, Springfield on the 28th, and Vegas the next day. And here's Orlando. They're going to get a day off on Friday, Vegas on Thursday, tough Philly squad on Saturday. Basically, there's a lot of tennis happening here at the Greenbrier. 66 matches over 22 days if you include the postseason. This is day 10 of a 19-day regular season. This is the first of 4 matches today.
Nice hands from Tennys Sandgren. Very useful up at the net. Plus, knowing who you're playing against, using that short volley creates an awkward situation if Arevalo is going to try to run up and hit a pass.
Lob bounced right in the corner. Not sure what happened. There's a little awkward defense with that overhead.
Oh, great return from Arevalo. Best forehand he's hit today.
Almost waiting for Arevalo to get that moment where he really shows the fire, a big come on, a big fist pump. They need something down 3 here in the 5th set. Big moment here. He was on that one. Four service games, 4 holds, and the Storm are still up 4. We got the conclusion of this match when we come back here at the Greenbrier. All right, second round of serves for these 4 players in men's doubles. Castle's down 4. They need to win this set to put it into extended play.
Oh, Nick Monroe with the quick hands to the net.
Haven't had yet that kind of long, fiery point. That was nice right there, though.
These quick exchanges are what you practice for. Quick hands.
Oh, let's go. Off the right hip. Don't even know how he got his racket on that.
Nick Monroe so close to the net. We talked about wreaking havoc. Hit that off the end of the grip right there.
Cuts into the lead. It's now 20-17. And Thursday, we'll have the Springfield Lasers and the San Diego Aviators at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on ESPN+. And at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN2, the OC Breakers take on the Washington Castles. To get ESPN+, download the ESPN app or visit espnplus.com. Sandgren now serving into the sun. Mark, this is big.
This is how it starts. Missed volley early, put some returns in play.
Get a break and a hold, then it's 2019. Just 1 game needed in extended play to force a super tiebreaker. Not only was he close to the net there, but I think Arevalo felt that maybe Skupski was going to make a move. It's like he had the whole court open, but he was anticipating a move, trying to get 1 step ahead.
Yeah, Arevalo tried to hold that one until the last minute.
Whoa, 125 second serve.
Yeah, Sangren's been doing this all week, hitting a lot of sequences of 2 first serves.
Not sure if that was the time for that. Easy to say that in hindsight.
Arevalo feeling it. Watch out now. Just a massive backhand return cross court. He defends. And this inside in favorite shot for him to hit.
That volley got the back line. First break point fought off from Sandgren in the Storm. Still 2 to come. Arevalo is more comfortable in the ad side. Are you feeling that?
Definitely. He gets the angle for that forehand coming into his body. He can accelerate and hit the more natural shot for him, which is inside in.
I was dissing the Sandgren serve, and now he comes through huge. That's 118 up the tee. Second break point fought off. Curious to see where they go here. Staying on the ad. Mark, you were calling that one. Wow, this is big.
What a volley. That's a really difficult volley that Ken Skupski made look so routine. Nice move forward out of the stance. He changes the angle of his hand to go the opposite way.
You practice different things in doubles. It's quick explosion in short spaces. That was a great look at that right there. Rip return, kind of right at your face. You get out of the way. Spike it over Monroe. What a huge hold.
Sangren with the ball.
Great move from Tennis Sangren. Went kind of high on that volley. There's a look at Ken Skupski's stick. If you look a little closer, this new racket from Head, green on one side, red on the other.
It's pretty sweet. I've never seen that. I got a great look
Cool
at it
visual
right
when he's spinning it.
We told Ken to do that. We're in his ear.
What a return from Skupski. Nice split step, quick shoulder turn, and full extension with the two-hander.
Yeah, was that the red side or the green side?
Green all the way right here. Split step, green. Green for the money, baby. What do they say? Straight cash, homie.
What a momentum shift, though, with the 3 break points at 2-3. You break, you can serve it out. You're down 1. Next thing you know, you're down 4. And now you're struggling to get a hold at 3-all.
Yeah, keep an eye on Ken Skupski here, looking like Cristiano Ronaldo off a set piece.
He's English.
Deportes, baby.
He's thinking more Wayne Rooney, Lampard, Beckham. And that's all I got for my English footballers. Monroe struggling with the serve a bit. We saw 2 doubles in his last game. Sun shouldn't be playing a factor on this side. And this is where it can get away from you if you're the Castles. Already down 4 in the total. And the Storm have taken control. They win the set here. The match is over. And it will be on the racket of Ken Skupski. Another look at that great backhand return. Takes it well inside the court.
Best return in the Sangren arsenal, that backhand. Short backswing, takes it early so well. Right aimed at the service line, at the feet of the incoming server. Nice balling from Skupski. Deep, keeping Monroe at the baseline. Nick Monroe much more comfortable around the net than at the baseline. Great awareness from Tennis Sangren, splitting the team with that forehand volley right through the middle of Arevalo and Nick Monroe.
Gosh, just 5 minutes ago, this looked like it could get tight in extended play, but now just 2 points away for the Storm. That one, and they got 4 chances to do so.
Good return from Arevalo right there. Keep it Tennis Sangren on his toes.
Polenta.
Big serve to the backhand, it sails long, and that will do it for this one. The Storm shut the door with men's doubles in the 5th set. But when you look at that big score bug, it's those middle 3 sets. And all 3 of those sets had Jessica Pegula in them. She ends up winning 14 games. Great effort from her. Danielle Collins no longer on the squad. She will get plenty more looks throughout the season. She certainly came through today, and that is why she is the guaranteed rate player of the match. And when you receive that honor, we hand you over to Olivia Decker for a post-match interview. Great showing from Pegula and the rest of the Storm. It's going to be Jessica Pegula and Olivia Decker after a quick break.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Geico. World Team Tennis is brought to you by Geico. Did you know that right now, Geico is offering an extra 15% credit on car, motorcycle, and RV policies? That's on top of what Geico can already save you. So what are you waiting for? Visit geico.com to learn more. By the Greenbrier Valley in West Virginia, home to scenic trails and quiet rivers, friendly mountain towns, and America's resort, the Greenbrier. And by Chosen Foods. Join them in their sun-drenched utopia and visit chosenfoods.com. The avocado celebrated.
Orlando wins 23-17. Washington took the first 2 sets, but the rest was all the Storm. Thanks in part to a little selfie love there at the end. Jessica Pegula is with us now. She's the guaranteed rate player of the match. So Jessica, huge momentum shift when you got in there in mixed doubles. What were you specifically focused on in your game?
Yeah, so I thought we had a really tough singles match. Bernarda played really well and it was close there, but 2 close singles matches, the doubles becomes really big. So yeah, Kenny and I have been playing well together, and we just stepped it up a little bit there at the end. It's literally just 1 or 2 points every single day that's kind of swaying these matches. So I thought we were really fired up and we focused and we played really well, and I was able to carry it over to the doubles, and Daria played great.
Absolutely, winning that set 5-1. Jessica, congratulations. Big win for your team.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Coming up on the other side, Mark and Jeff are going to break down all of the highlights. You can expect you'll see a lot of Jessica Pegula coming up.
Skupski and the Storm get that last set, and they take this one by a final score 23-17. There's a look at the updated standings there on the left. 23-17. As you see, the Castles drop to 3-4, but the Storm get back even with the win in loss column. And let's check out some of the highlights. So it started off in men's singles. It was Tommy Paul and Tennys Sandgren. You knew there wasn't going to be much between these two. We get 8 holes to start. We end up going to a 9-point tiebreaker. What you see in this match?
A lot of big serving today. I like seeing the commitment from Tommy Paul to move forward, hitting first forehands inside out, taking away time from Tennys Sandgren and finishing off at the net when he could.
Yeah, here's the first point of that breaker. Look at that dipping forehand, and then Tommy Paul with the splits. Good start to this tiebreaker, but Tommy Paul ends up taking the next 4 points, wins the tiebreaker 5-0. You do not see that a lot. So the Castles are up 5-4 going into women's singles, and then starts the Pegula show. Pegula would not get this set, but like you said, if you're gonna lose, 5-4 is the score you want to lose.
This was a great match. Strength versus strength. The pair of forehand against the Pegula backhand all day long. Who could establish their strengths on this court and push the other player back behind the baseline?
Yeah, this is where we saw some drama here. Originally, that ball not called out because Hawkeye Live did not go off, even though it definitely was out. Just add a little more spice to the competitiveness. They would get the call right. This is 2-all in the tiebreaker. Pegula playing defense. Nice dropper there from Para. And here is the deciding point, set point for both players. The forehand sails long. They take the second set in a tiebreaker, and this is when things turn. Pegula stays on the court for her second straight set, and she is gonna take on, with Skupski, Arevalo and Rodionova.
Yeah, Jessica Pegula, big shots like this down the line, really established her presence on the court. Let Ken Skupski be creative and get involved at the net.
Yeah, here's a deciding point in the 4th game. Pegula so solid from the baseline. Arevalo cannot come up with that volley. And then here's the set point. Pegula with the clutch serve. The return goes wide. She takes that 5-3, but she is not done, Mark. It's now women's doubles, and this is when they get their separation, when she plays alongside Daria Jurak.
Daria Jurak stepped up today, was very solid. Washington Castles, too many unforced errors in this set. Big separation now for the Orlando Storm.
Yeah, we said Pegula played great today, but Jurak was exceptional as well. This might have been the point of the match. This is the 3rd game of women's doubles. You'll see this deciding point. This one had it all. That volley sails long. Jurak applauds the effort from Pegula. Here they are up 3-1, and we said Jurak was great. Check out that volley right there.
The electric feel from Daria Jurak.
I like that electric feel. They take that one 5-1. Now we go to men's doubles. Pegula is now done. It's going to be Arevalo in our first look at Nick Monroe taking on Sandgren and Skupski. This one had moments where it was close, but in the end, it was all Storm. That's a nice return right there from Arevalo.
Tennys Sandgren was solid in crunch time, making a couple crosses and a big return when it mattered to give his team the break right at the feet right here of Nick Monroe.
Yeah, the Castles had break opportunities at 3-2. They fought off 3 break points, and now here's triple match point for the Storm, and that does it. And like we said, the Storm improved to 4-4. Washington drops to 3-4, and here's a look at the big picture in those 3 middle sets. Pegula was great. All right, Chosen Foods movers of the match. We're taking a look at the 4 sets of singles. Tommy Paul looks like the 2 Castle players moved the most, and they're the ones that won those single sets.
And ironically, their team lost, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Tennys Sandgren a little above 2,000. Below, I should say, Jessica Pegula. In the end, they'll take the team victory if you're the Storm. So we kicked things off in singles and finished it off with 3 sets of doubles. This match remained tight throughout. Jessica Pegula coming up big, playing back-to-back-to-back sets, winning 14 out of her 23 games played. The Storm improved to 4-4, while the Castles dropped to 3-4. That's going to do it for our first match on day 10 here at the Greenbrier. Everyone pitching in here at World Team Tennis.
Big thanks to everyone in the truck and, of course, around the stadium. For Olivia Decker, Mark Lucero, I'm Jeff Chisver. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.